want to know what are the pros and cons living in Hollywood, Florida, then this video is for you. By the way, looking at this natural site, do you think there are cons living in Florida? But unfortunately there are, because any place is not 100% complete. You will find some positive and of course you will find some negative. Stay tuned, it will come just after this. Number one pro living in Hollywood is there is not much traffic here. This is very small town. It's I mean, the Miami, Fort Lauderdale, it's considered a metropolitan town. The Hollywood is as famous as the Miami and Fort Lauderdale, but the good part is it's pretty small town, almost like only 150,000 population of this town, and that's why you won't find a lot of traffic around. You can go one spot to other spot very easily. If you are in the same distance, if you are in Miami, then it takes forever to go to A to B. So it makes it more easier when people wants to come to the beach, they want to do some outdoor activities, or even want to go to the job. Then also it's kind of very helpful when there is not too much traffic. Roads around the city is kind of a little bit more broad roads, and that's another advantage. So overall you find less traffic jams and you don't have to sit in the car all the time, and it's kind of you utilize that time for your family or doing some outdoor funs. So that's like one of the good advantage I feel living in the Hollywood. Another advantage here, if you're coming with the family, then you have a lot of choice for the schools. There are like private and also the public schools, almost like 341 schools in the Broward County itself, and Hollywood falls into Broward County. Of course, in Florida, the system has the schools are divided by the zip codes, but comparatively, the Hollywood has a lot many schools which you can choose for your kids, either elementary, middle, or high school, which is like between 7 to 10 ratings. So it's kind of considered a good school zone. There is a little bit of disadvantage because it has more like a pocket. So not everywhere you will find a good school. So if you're looking for really A-graded schools, then you do have to choose correctly the neighborhoods. And that's kind of very difficult here. And that brings me to another disadvantage, because it's so hard to pick up the neighborhoods in Hollywood. Even though it's beautiful city, it's very small town, you get the small town feeling, but at the same time the neighborhoods are so widely spreaded, and at the same time it's like a pockets compared to the crime rates, the school zones. I mean, it's kind of divided basically. So having the good neighborhood, that's really challenge in the Hollywood. You should always have the assistance of the real estate professional like me, which can help you out to narrow down the neighborhoods, because there's a saying here, like, you don't choose the work, but you choose the neighborhoods, because that's where your most of the time spends, especially your family's time spends, right? So it's very important to have the safe and also valuable neighborhoods. Let's say you are buying a property, then it should get even appraised faster. Like if it is in a good neighborhood, it will appraise in a good value, but if it is in a bad zone, then of course you feel a little bit of stuck feeling if you are living here long term. Here, another problem in the neighborhood is the neighborhoods are very much apart. So you literally have to travel few miles to go to one neighborhood to other. So again, if your friend is living In some other neighborhoods, then you will have a little bit of distance overall, when you are living, even though you are living in the same city, but you will find that distance because the neighborhoods are not that close, especially in the Hollywood. And another disadvantage I found in the neighborhood area is basically, very few communities are the gated communities here. Mostly after 1995, the communities were built, they are more in the gated communities. So you will find very few communities in the Hollywood which are gated. And if it is gated, the price is very high. So it has like upscale neighborhoods and also the affordable neighborhoods. So that brings me to the housing market, which is kind of affordable, I feel, but it's kind of the choice for everybody. Like average housing, like median sale price is around $182,000 in this Hollywood. It's not bad compared to even national average. So comparing the national average, it's pretty, the median sale price is pretty good. So you have a choice to buy something in affordable price range, but also you have a choice to buy something high-rated condos in the millions of dollars. You have many of the choices if you want to live close to the beach, but at the same time you want to have the affordable pricing. Mostly, people are buying here the vacation homes who wants to live close to the beach. It would be so much fun to live close to beach and have the beach lifestyle. At the same time, you don't have too much liability on your head. So that's kind of major advantage in the Hollywood. So you have too many choices. Even if you want to have some luxury style also, then also you can find in the Hollywood beach itself. And the appreciation in this town is pretty strong. So the economy, like this town is considered one of the famous tourist town of the South Florida. So you don't have to worry about, the property values here. At the same time, it's pretty much strong. So buying and selling kind of goes hands to hand here in this area. So talking about the economy, this brings me to another disadvantage of this town is this town has a little bit of higher cost of living than other towns of the South Florida. You will find many other towns which are actually closer to beach, but still the cost of living is not that high. So basically, the rental also, like let's say 1+ bedroom, or the rentals are ranging mostly $1,200 plus minimum. That's also not like very close to beach area. But if you want to live in close to beach, then you have to have a budget at least going above $1,500 plus. In a buying side, also is kind of, as I said, you have the buying and selling kind of go hands to hand. The pricing, like per square foot pricing, is much higher in the Hollywood houses, but still the lower per square foot price. But in Hollywood, you need to spend a little more extra dollars to buy. Another is like the bills and all. Overall, the utility bills are almost similar in the South Florida, so that's not a huge difference. But the groceries also, I have found a little bit of difference. I live in Coral Springs. Compared to the Coral Springs or around the Coral Spring, like Coconut Creek, Pompano Beach, in that area. Also comparing with those cities too, I found a little bit of higher grocery bills in the Hollywood. And you will find the stores, but at the same time, not too many stores of the wholesale stores you will find here, like the Costco, Sam's Club. You literally have to drive a little bit of north or maybe east to get access to the stores. So that's also make life a little bit difficult when you're living in the Hollywood. But yes, many people compromises those things because they want to experience, this weather. It's completely different when I come here, and it's completely different when I live in my town, So you feel a huge difference living in the Hollywood. Check out, it's so beautiful. Right now, the weather is around 80, but it's close to beach, is so much wind, it doesn't feel like. But of course, it's so much humid, my skin is like all sweaty at this moment. Anyways, so now this brings me to my another point that's kind of a little bit of considered disadvantage. It's a climate. So I don't know, it's a pro or cons. It's kind of mixed, honestly. As I said, it's so much humid, you know, you will like air in the Hollywood is kind of overall is more moisture in the air. Because it's very close to the beach, you know, if you see in the map, it's kind of almost at the beach, you know, this town is located, and it's not big town. So the square mile area is like around only 30 mile across, you know, across the city. So that's not big, you know, and because of that, the climate almost stays similar in the city. So it gives more like a beach feeling. It rains more harder compared to any other towns which are not near to the beach. It also, in a hurricane season, you have to a little bit of more extra careful if you are living close to beach, because it's going to be a little bit more windy, a little more crazy, you know, if you are enjoying your beach lifestyle in the Hollywood. So that's like a little bit of disadvantage. But of course, the weather stays 365 days warm, and that's why many winter birds, like majority of the winter birds choice is actually Hollywood. I would say the housing market is strong just because of those winter birds, because there's so many choices here, like so many condos, trust me. So you have varieties of you know, the housing to choose, either rental or even buying or even Airbnb. Where I'm sitting, that's a part of the Hollywood beach, you will see so many small hotels or maybe the Airbnbs which you can have at the affordable range at the beach itself. Like, you know, every day you can see sunrise and sunset from your home. In the winter time, you will see a lot many tourists on the street, and this brings me to the new point. It's kind of, I would consider as advantage, because the main source of job opportunities in the Hollywood city is from the tourism, electronics productions, or aerospace. If you are looking to start something new when you are moving to Florida, then you have a lot many chances of growing the business in the Hollywood compared to any other town. But you have to be very careful what you choose when you are living in the Hollywood. But too many opportunities. There is also a lot of medical professionals you will find in the Hollywood, because there is big hospitals and nursing homes are in the Hollywood city. Actually, in 2011, I'm talking about a long time back, but just I want to compare, you know, I want to show you that how strong the job market is. In 2011, Memorial Health System, their employee was around 9,500 as a medical staff. And in 2020, trust me, it's of course because of the COVID, a lot of things changed, but the medical industry is still at the demand. You will find a lot many opportunities if you are in a medical professional. Many hospitals are close by, like Memorial Hospital, also from the Miami, like a University of Miami Hospital, Jackson Memorial, that's also kind of close by, because in Miami, the living lifestyle is totally different. It's too many things you have to think about if you're living in Miami. So many people decide to live in Hollywood instead of Miami because of certain factors. That brings me to another advantage of living in the Hollywood. So many people, like, because in a Miami lifestyle is kind of totally different, trust me. It's a big metropolitan city. So much traffic. It's way expensive than compared to any other town in the South Florida. So if you want to live rental or buying, it's crazy there. So you have to have a literal high budget, very high cost of living. So many people decide to live in Hollywood even though their work is in Miami, because this is one of the very closest town and very funful town, you know, because of its all the advantages, and people, like, family loves to live in the Hollywood. Actually, you will find everything what you can find in Miami. So basically the beach lifestyle, you know, which I always kind of fan of, living near to the beach, and like doing the outdoor activities. You will find a lot many fitness oriented people in living in the Hollywood, because the weather and having the boardwalk close to your house, a lot of the parks are in the Hollywood, so you will see a lot many outdoor activities you can do in the Hollywood, like a biking, golfing, or boating, fishing, even jogging, just simple walk. So in the beautiful weather and the beautiful sights, that's something fun. Of course, it's part of, if you are living in Florida, then you need to experience that, So whatever things you can imagine doing in Miami, you can do in the Hollywood with very less investment. And that's something I will consider a biggest advantage of living in the Hollywood. One big disadvantage to the local residents, because whenever you come here, so many people. If you love to stay in some peaceful place, then this is not for you, because you will see this city is kind of very lively, and even the natural places like parks or beaches, you will not find a spot sitting quietly. I personally love to go to some quiet places when I'm going out, going for the walk or jogging, but that's something is very rarely you can find in the Hollywood. So I would say that's like biggest, like, as according to me, for me, it's like a disadvantage. Even though I love to come to Broadwalk, I love to come with my kid, my family. Whenever any guest comes, that's number one thing we visit is the Hollywood. So, but at the same time, if I want my me time, then I won't get in the Hollywood. So this is it. We covered many pros and cons. Of course, there are many others we can go more deeper in each of the points and talk about, but I don't want to make it too long video. So I hope this is helpful to you. At least this much information, you could figure out that if the Hollywood town is for you or not. If something you liked it, make sure you like, comment, and share. That does help me, and also other people can get some help from my content, and it motivates me to make more. By the way, don't forget to subscribe my channel. I'm a local real estate agent here, so if you are in case looking to move, you're looking to even you are in the process of researching the area, feel free to contact me. My contact information you will find in the description.